Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. This is a B1 level social studies lesson. Today we're going to talk about the effects of the Industrial Revolution. So think about what we discussed in the last lesson. What was the Industrial Revolution? What were some of the changes that happened? And why did these changes happen? Alright, so now match the words to the pictures and then try to explain in your own words what they are. So factory would be picture C, and a factory is a place where people can manufacture goods, large numbers of goods in a fairly short amount of time. Lake is picture B. A lake is a natural, or could be man-made, but usually a natural body of water that's contained on all sides by land. A steam engine would be A. So this is a source of power that uses steam made by heating water. And D is a machine, which is a tool for making products faster and easier than they can be made by hand. All right, so now we're going to look at some vocabulary. So match the words to the definitions. You can pause the video, read on your own, or, pause the video and then restart when you're ready to check your answers. So a group of people in society who have similar wealth and power, that would be number 5, class. The quality of life for a person, that would be number 7, living standards. The process of making air, water, etc. dirty, that would be number 2, pollution. A result of something that has happened, that would be number 3, consequence. The environment where people work, including things like hours and safety, that's number 6, working conditions. The rate at which a worker, a company, or a country produces goods, that would be number 1, productivity. And a group of workers, usually in the same industry, that join together to get better pay and working conditions would be number 4, a union. So you're going to read a text about the Industrial Revolution. So read the first line of the text and then discuss the question. The Industrial Revolution, which began in the 18th century, transformed the world in many ways. So what changes do you think this text is going to talk about? So just think about it, make some predictions. You can even use the picture here as maybe a clue, and then restart when you're ready to continue. All right, so we're going to read the first part of the article and answer the questions. You can pause the video and read on your own, or you can follow along as I read. The Industrial Revolution, which began in the 18th century, transformed the world in many ways. One of the biggest changes was urbanization, or the growth of cities. As people moved from rural areas to cities to find work, urban populations grew quickly. This was because many new jobs were created in factories, which led to increased productivity. As a result of increased productivity, new products and technologies were invented, which made it easier to produce a large amount of goods. This led to more businesses and new industries. For example, the invention of the steam engine made it possible to power machines in factories, which increased production and reduced the need for human labor. However, these changes also impacted the environment. The growth of factories and industries led to air and water pollution, which had negative effects on the environment. For example, smoke from factories caused air pollution, and waste from factories and cities polluted rivers and lakes. So which 3 main changes does this part of the article mention? Well, they mention urbanization, or the growth of cities, the invention of new technologies, and impacts to the environment like air and water pollution. So, what was the cause of each change? Well, urbanization was caused by people moving from the rural areas to cities to find work. The new products and technologies were the result of the increased productivity, and the impacts to the environment were caused by smoke from factories and waste from factories and cities. And the effects of each change, well, urbanization, the urban populations grew quickly. The increased productivity led to more businesses and new industries. And the impacts to the environment were negative in the form of pollution and waste. All right, we're going to read the second half of this text and then answer the questions. Again, you can pause the video and read on your own or follow along as I read. There were also social changes due to the Industrial Revolution. The growth of cities and industries led to the development of a new social class, the working class. Many people who moved to cities to work in factories lived in crowded and not very clean places. This led to the development of social and political movements that tried to improve working conditions and living standards for workers. Finally, to solve these social and environmental problems, governments passed laws to protect the environment and improve working conditions. For example, they asked factory owners to take steps to reduce pollution, and they gave workers the right to form unions to help them get more money and better working conditions. So, which two main changes does this part of the article talk about? Well, the social changes, the development of a new social class, and governmental laws to protect the environment and improve working conditions. So, the cause of each change, people moving to the cities to work in factories, and that the effect was that it led to the development of social and political movements to try to improve the working conditions and living standards. So that's the answer to number three. And then the pollution caused in the factories, again, led to the forming of unions and environmental protections or government regulations. All right, so we're going to talk about cause and effect. So, when talking about events in the past, it is often important to talk about what made something happen. Cause means the reason that something happens, and effect is what happened. So, look at the examples. Which phrase describes a cause and which describes an effect? So, the growth of factories and industries is the cause, and it led to air and water pollution. That's the effect. As a result of increased productivity, that would be the cause. New products and technologies were invented. That would be the effect. Urban populations increased because many new jobs were available in factories. So here the cause is second. Many new jobs were available, and that the result of that was the increase in urban populations. So there are many expressions we use to describe cause and effect. Some come before a noun or noun phrase that describes the cause, and the effect is in the main clause. So some examples of that would be as a result of, due to, because of increased productivity, new products and technologies were invented. New products and technologies were invented as a result of. You could also put due to or because of here um, before the cause. Others come before a clause and describe the cause. The effect is in the main clause. So since, because, as many new jobs were available in factories, urban populations increased, or urban populations increased since many new jobs were available in factories, because or as many new jobs were available in factories. All right, we're going to look at some more ways of describing cause and effect. These expressions use a noun for both the cause and the effect. The cause comes before the expression and the effect comes after, but the order cannot be changed. So the growth of factories and industries led to air and water pollution. The development of cities and industries caused the creation of a new social class. All right, so we're going to read about memories of the Industrial Revolution, and then you can answer the questions below. Again, you can pause the video, read on your own, or follow along as I read. Bridget thinks that the Industrial Revolution was a good thing. The Industrial Revolution was definitely a good thing. There were many positive changes because of the Industrial Revolution. It improved transportation, created new job opportunities, and made goods more affordable. It also led to advancements in science, medicine, and technology that continue to benefit us today. Remember, life used to be really difficult for most people before the Industrial Revolution. People would work all day in the fields just to have enough food to eat. So, do you agree with Bridget? And what might someone who disagrees with her say? So, just think about those. You can write down your answers if you'd like for practice. However, Charles thinks it was a bad thing overall. The Industrial Revolution brought many changes to the world, but they were mainly negative. People used to live more peaceful lives, but now life is much more stressful. And the growth of factories led to so much environmental damage. Again, do you agree with Charles? And what might someone who disagrees with him say? All right, we're going to talk again about used to and would. We talked about this a couple of videos ago, but we can kind of review that here. So we remember that used to and would can be used to talk about repeated actions and habits in the past. Life used to be really difficult for most people before the Industrial Revolution. People would work all day in the fields just to have enough food to eat. People used to live more peaceful lives. So think about what we've discussed in the two lessons on the Industrial Revolution, and you can practice writing down some of your answers. So, what were the positives of the Industrial Revolution? What were the negatives? Overall, was it a good thing or a bad thing for humans? And remember to use the language for describing causes and effects, and use used to and would to describe how things were different before. All right, so this is a vocabulary review. You can pause the video, try this on your own, and then restart when you're ready to check your answers. All right, so number one, productivity increased during the Industrial Revolution as new machines were invented to make goods more efficiently. Factories during the Industrial Revolution produced a lot of pollution because they burned coal to power the machines. One consequence of the Industrial Revolution was that people began moving from rural areas to cities to work in factories. Many factories during the Industrial Revolution were unsafe for workers due to poor working conditions. Workers formed unions during the Industrial Revolution to fight for better wages and working conditions. The Industrial Revolution created a new middle class of factory owners and managers, while the working class consisted of factory workers, and the growth of factories led to urbanization as more people moved to cities to find work. All right, so think about what we talked about in this lesson, and then you can practice by answering the questions. So, what were some of the causes of the Industrial Revolution, and what were some of its effects? And that brings us to the end of today's video. Please like, subscribe, share. If you have any questions, leave those for me in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.